the Daddy Letters. Season 2. Letter 26. Called to be a Redeemer.
Dear Dad, I am troubled. Things were going great between Jethro's daughter and me. I know you like to call him Reuel, but in my Bible studies I learned that the prince of Midian was also called Jethro, and Jethro is much easier to pronounce and spell than Reuel. Anyway, I was beginning to believe my girlfriend was going to become the wife of my dreams. That is until she told me that she and her ex-fiancé had slept together a lot before they broke up. She said she decided it would be unfair to let things continue to develop between us without letting me know about her past indiscretion, and she would understand if I didn't want to date her anymore, though she was praying we would stay together. She also begged me not to lose my high opinion of her over this one mistake, but I told her there was no way I could promise that. She started crying hysterically, and I didn't know whether to comfort her or enjoy her pain as I endured mine. I had dreamed she was going to be the virginal bride of my dreams, that I would carry across the threshold into a honeymoon suite. I just can't get over the disappointment and hurt, or see her the same way ever again. Maybe it's my ego, but it is painful knowing she is more sexually experienced than I am, and that she learned the skills of intimacy with someone else. She and I are perfect together in almost every other way, so I hate to lose her, but I don't know if I can ever get over this. To make matters worse, her ex-fiancé goes to our church, and it is difficult to regularly see the man who slept with my girl. Every time I see him, I am filled with torturous imaginings of the things they did with each other. On top of that, he smugly flashes a superior smirk to me when he passes by us, and now I know why, and why my girlfriend seemed crushed when he did. It is all I can do not to punch him in his wicked face. How can I worship God reverently in this situation? Dad, I am angry at him, angry at her, and angry at life. You have always talked straight with me and given me wise counsel. I really need that now. Sincerely, your tortured son.
Dear son, I'm feeling a little guilty about your situation because your mother and I played matchmaker and set you up to start dating Reuel's daughter, or if you prefer, Jethro's daughter. However, I still believe you two are very well matched in important ways. The signs are there, but I am sorry the enemy has stained her life in a way that is so painful to you. I don't lack empathy for your pain and disappointment, but I would ask you to remember one thing as you decide what you want to do. Remember that it was not that long ago that you were very happily moving toward intimacy with a married woman who obviously wasn't a virgin and was still sleeping with her husband. Isn't it interesting that Mrs. Inman Graves' non-virginal status nor her unfaithfulness were distasteful to you? I ask you to ponder why a very experienced Mrs. Inman Graves was so acceptable, while your much lesser experienced girlfriend is so unacceptable. Don't get me wrong. You have good reason to feel hurt over what you learned about your girlfriend. I am just encouraging you to realize there are other perspectives to consider, and that you should keep your own past and recent immoral choices in view. Your girlfriend deserves a lot of credit for telling you about her mistake while your relationship is still new. I hope you at least appreciate that. She definitely gets high marks from me, because it is a sign of her integrity and her respect for you. She bravely bore the embarrassment and the risk of losing you in order to do the right thing. Bravo! Wouldn't you hate to have found out about her indiscretion after you married her? Son, you do well to desire a virginal bride. It is a wonderful prize, the gold standard, a thing of great price, and I had hoped for it for you. But son, I believe some of us, especially God's strongest servants, are called to be rescuers and redeemers in the likeness of what Boaz was to Ruth. In Ruth 3 verses 11 through 13, Boaz declared his willingness to rescue Ruth this way.
And now, my daughter, do not fear. I will do for you all that you ask, for all my fellow townsmen know that you are a worthy woman. And now it is true that I am a redeemer, yet there is a redeemer nearer than I. Remain tonight, and in the morning, if he will redeem you, good, let him do it. But if he is not willing to redeem you, then, as the Lord lives, I will redeem you.
Boaz was willing to overlook the fact that Ruth was no longer a virgin, given she was widowed. And why was he willing? Because, as he said, he found Ruth to be a worthy woman. Son, is your girlfriend a worthy woman despite her stain? Only you can decide, son, but maybe God is calling you to be your girlfriend's redeemer, rescuer, the one to lift her to a place of honor despite past failures. Yes, you can restore her to honor and respect with your forgiveness, love, and protection. Think how much love she will feel if you can throw her mistake into the sea of forgetfulness the way God does your mistakes. To be certain, a virginal bride is the ideal model as ordained by God, but God is also a God of exceptions. Under God's cleansing grace, there is also a place for widows, widowers, and non-virginal singles to find fulfillment in the bond of holy matrimony. You have an opportunity to be a fleshly manifestation of God's forgiving spirit here on earth. Viewed that way, your situation can be considered a high honor son. God does not see things with human eyes, and what is devastating in our eyes may be a blessing in His. Joseph was devastated when his brothers attempted to murder him, but that devastating event and other devastating events that followed led him to a throne in Egypt. Yes, God established a template for pre- and post-marital relationships built around the virtues of purity and fidelity, but He also uses our failures in this and other areas to show His glory. Take Hosea, for example. God commanded Hosea to marry a harlot, and through that marriage demonstrate God's many attributes. Most remarkably, God showed, through Hosea, a supernatural capacity for forgiveness. Hosea 3:1-5 describes it this way.
Go again, love a woman who is loved by another man, and is an adulteress, even as the Lord loves the children of Israel, though they turn to other gods and love cakes of raisins. So I bought her for 15 shekels of silver, and a homer and a lethech of barley. And I said to her, You must dwell as mine for many days. You shall not play the whore, or belong to another man, so will I also be to you. For the children of Israel shall dwell many days without king or prince, without sacrifice or pillar, without ephod or household gods. Afterward the children of Israel shall return and seek the Lord their God, and David their king, and they shall come in fear to the Lord and to His goodness in the latter days.
This is a remarkable Bible story. Could it be that God is writing another remarkable story through you? Can you be God's representative to show your girlfriend, and others, the majesty of God's love by overlooking her sexual sins and loving her as if she were pure as snow? Could it be that years from now you may look back and thank God for this opportunity to learn to love in the same way He does? Are angelic hosts fixing their eyes upon you right now, waiting to see if you will give them cause to marvel at how a mere man can rise to supernatural realms of godlike love? Could it be that you, my son, have been drawn into a double-sided experience, with pain on the one side giving birth to glory on the other? Choose wisely, my son, and listen to the Spirit, not your heart. Choice is a powerful tool that has now been put into your hands to determine the course of your two lives and the lives of all those who love you both, as well as whether or not I again get to enjoy those apple pies your girlfriend bakes. I have attached a 2-minute clip from a 15-minute video about choice from the Pearland West Church of Christ, Bringing Scriptures to Life series. I hope this video provokes sober consideration of the importance of choosing well. I love you, son, and I believe you will choose well. Your dad and biggest fan. God be with you.
What is the most powerful force in the universe? Is it the wind? The sea? The sun? Viruses. Wealth. The cold. The storm. The flood. The comet. Is it love? As powerful as these forces may be, they do not get my vote. I am certain that the most powerful force in the universe is choice, the product of free will, bestowed by our Creator. It is so powerful that it can be used by tiny creatures like us, to reject the eternal Almighty God and Creator. The Creator gave the creature power over himself. Imagine how remarkable that is. But what is choice really? Is it the use of an any-miny-miny-mo selection methodology? In the biblical sense, is it casting lots? Is it akin to rolling dice across a table of options? No. These are relegations of choice to chance. Choice is driven by intentionality. Choice is the deliberate separation of alternatives. Choice has the power of the wind, because it sets one's soul a sail toward distant destinations, under fluffy clouds of hope, and on the way, navigating deep dangerous waters where reside monsters. And then finally landing the soul upon the shores of destiny. Choice gives birth to destinies, and these destinies are derived from the contents of the choices being made. God chose to make man, and from that choice, many destinies have unfolded and continue to unfold. Sodom and Gomorrah chose to defy God, and that choice led to their hot, smoldering destiny. What we choose tells the world who we are. What we choose determines who we will become, because choice is the determinant factor of futures. It shatters crystal dreams with the hammer of definite consequences. What we have chosen clearly explains our past, while affixing to us a particular future. Choice can be the delicate open hand of blessing, or it can be the iron fist of curse. Choice is a gift from God. In loving benefaction, He made us free because the freedom to choose is the truest expression of love. To be loved is to be chosen, and He wants us to choose Him. There is no real love in the predilections of automatons. God sets choices before us that lead us down.